Have you ever wondered what would happen if you tried to repair a cracked screen, whether it's on a GoPro, cell phone, or any other glass surface with fiberglass resin? Well, today we're going to answer that question and see what happens. Welcome to my channel. This is LifeOfAccro. I'm AccroBrandon and this is my life. So recently I had this on the FPV drone. It took a little crash and to my surprise, the screen is shattered. So before I go and do a replacement on this, I'm just wondering what would happen. I've seen plenty of videos where people use epoxy and it seems to work and the touchscreen works. The touchscreen still works broken, but I don't like getting shards of glass in my finger, and maybe it'll just be a cheap, easy fix / solution if you don't need to really replace the screen. Same thing with this phone right here. I have an LG V60. I guess the good news for me is that they've discontinued the phone, so I don't need to worry about resale value, but to my lack of better judgment, usually I have it in a case, and there was just a small instance where I was out mountain biking on the streets and it popped out of the phone holder and crushed and hit the ground and shattered right there. So this has definitely been long overdue. So I'm gonna knock out both of these and we're gonna see what the results are. Let's get to work. What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from the future, and it's been about 2 weeks since I made the initial video and since I glazed this thing over with fiberglass resin. And look, it's good as new. You can't even tell. It looks OEM. Now, that might not be true. However, I am happy with the results, and currently at this point in time, I really have no desire to actually replace the screen. I don't want to waste my time or energy. It works just fine. So what did I learn from this process? Well, the fiberglass resin does work. It didn't adhere to every single inch or small, that whatever you want to call that, every teeny bit of glass here, probably because glass is non-porous and there was no way for me to sand it or create some type of structure for the fiberglass to grip to. But what it did do is it did seal in where all of the major cracking was, and so that is all, dare I say, smooth. It definitely feels textured here. It feels like, you know, I don't even know what, like syrup dried on the counter, but it's still, you know, in a solid state now at this point. But the touchscreen does work. It works fine. It's all sealed. I mean, I guess I could probably go swimming with this. I might actually throw one more coat on just for good measure, just in case I do take this thing swimming with me. And I guess if that fails as a waterproofing mechanism and this thing actually fails, I guess we'll be back making a new video. But short of the long, fiberglass resin definitely worked. I don't know if this is better than what I saw when people were doing epoxy to seal up cracked screens, but if you happen to have resin laying around or you want to try it, go ahead and do it. This is what it looks like once again up close. You know, yeah, so if you need to fix something that's broken, use some fiberglass resin, right? I guess. Cool. I'll see you all in another video. So we've got the GoPro, we've got the LG. I'm going to be using, this is the only brush I have left. I usually buy these little watercolor paint brushes. They're really cheap at the dollar store at Walmart, and I just kind of use them for fiberglass occasionally. And then we're going to do this TPU mount that broke on my FPV. Not related to this, obviously, but I'm going to try and fix this while I'm here messing around with some fiberglass resin. I have this Bondo stuff. I use it for different projects. I don't actually do any automotive repair or anything like that, but this can is going to last me a lifetime. So we're just going to pour some in here. We're not even going to need very much, right? And this stuff's not even that, I don't even remember if it actually comes out clear anymore or if something's just dirty, but for me, this resin is definitely far from clear, but it's okay. And then you just get this hardener that comes with it. And for this teeny bit, I'm just going to do, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 drops? Okay, maybe that'll be too much. I mean, for this little itty bitty bit, but maybe it'll harden really quick too. And then you just mix it around like so. Ooh, it's already thickening kind of quick. I don't know, maybe that was too fast. Maybe that was too much hardener. Who knows? Whatever. Mix it all up. Okay. And I'll leave that here. And then I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to brush the phone first because this is smaller. Yeah, so I've got a huge crack that comes all the way over here, but I'm going to get the big stuff first and just paint it all in. And I'm going to go a little bit higher up here where the cracks are spreading. This will be a real interesting experiment. Maybe it'll make my phone look like shit. I don't know. Most of the time it's always in a case anyways, so nobody's gonna see this stuff. Next thing I'm gonna do here is the back of the GoPro. So we'll fill this all in. And it's got a nice thick consistency to it. I mean, it's kind of like honey consistency. And then sometimes if you add too much hardener, it really starts to seize up really quick. Feels kind of like it's coagulating. But I don't know, this will be fun. I'm very excited actually to see how this fills things in. I did watch a few videos on how to replace the screen on a GoPro 9. It looks like a real pain in the ass, but if you use like a nice heat gun and go around the edges here, you can get this to lift without it being too terrible. I'm gonna hold the GoPro a little bit flatter. And I'm just gonna glaze it with one coat to start. We'll see what happens. It'll probably take a day to dry. It is winter time right now. But that feels nice and smooth with the brush. That's one of the things that I really like using these little arts and crafts brushes. You can get some really nice swoops there. So I'm gonna let that kind of just sit right here off the edge. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that cure and then we'll check back tomorrow and see what the results look like.